Friday episode of the Confidence Through Health podcast. Today, I want to talk about decision making. And I'm dealing with this with several of my athletes that I work with, in that they're looking at the recruitment process of going from high school to college. And one, they have to decide, do I want to compete in college? Do I want to continue doing this at the level that it jumps from, okay, I'm having fun and I can train a little bit, to this is pretty much a job. And do I want to have that much commitment level to it? And then if they decide yes to that, then it becomes, okay, well, where? Right? And, one of the things I always talk to them about is, make the decision as easy as possible. So when we're making decisions, the first thing we have to do is make the decision as easy as possible. And the first things we've got to do is make the decision based on things that are non-emotional, non-negotiable, non-emotional. Like, what can we do to make the decision as simple as possible? Well, one of the things I tell them is, don't look at schools that don't offer a degree plan and something that you want to study. Like, if you want to, and I know a lot of schools have wide variety of things, but if you want to go on to med school, and so you want to take something that's in a biology, or some sort of uh, physiology, then don't go to a school that doesn't offer that, right? If you want to be an engineer, don't go to a school that does not have an engineering school. And so it's great if they have a great team and they have a great, like, coach, and the college is in a, the perfect environment that you want to be in, weather-wise and all of that. But if they don't have your degree plan, don't go there. I had one of my former athletes who is at a junior college, and he's looking at 4-year colleges, and he went to visit one, and I commented on it because he posted on social media that he was there. And so I texted him. I said, "Hey, dude, that's awesome. Like, congratulations on getting that recognition." And he said, "Yeah, I love the school. I love the coach, but they don't have my degree plan." And I'm like, "Then why are you there?" Right? Like, why are we wasting and we do this in so many different ways with decisions. We waste our thought process. We waste our emotional drama and our emotional time on parts of the decision that we know aren't going to help us at all. Like, why are we, it's sort of like getting tied up to a specific car that we want that doesn't have the seating capacity, or the miles per gallon, or whatever it is that we need. It doesn't offer that. So why are we stuck looking at that? And we do this so many times in our daily lives, in our decision making, is we get caught up in the emotional side of, "Ooh, it'd be cool to have that. It'd be cool to do that. It'd be cool to," it would make us feel good, but it doesn't fit our life. And so that's some of the easy things. Like, if it's a school for my kids, I ask them, do they have the degree plan that you want? Is it located in an area that you want? If you don't want to leave your state, don't leave your state. Then don't look at schools that are out of your state, even if they call you. And I talk through my athletes with this. Like, if somebody calls you and it's not a school that you're interested in going to for whatever reason, you be polite. You thank them for contacting you, right? You say all the nice, correct things, but let them know straight up, "Hey, look, this is just not what I'm looking for." And I did this when I was in college, when I was in high school, the looking at colleges, the head coach at the school where like the college in the city that I was in, I saw the head coach at a cross country meet. He told me, he said, "I talked to your high school coach. He said you're not interested in staying in state. Is that correct?" And I said, "Yes, that's correct. I'm going to leave the state." And he said, "Okay, don't be offended when I don't recruit you." I said, "That's not a problem. Don't be offended when I don't come looking for you." And he said, "Yep, we're on the same page. We're good." And he recruited people that were beneath me and never recruited me. And we were both fine with that because we had the conversation up front. And so decision making is a lot about making the simple pieces fit first. Then when you get down to it, you say, I've one of my athletes right now, he is dealing with I have three schools that want me. I have three schools that fit my criteria of degree plan, their environment around the school, the things that they offer for athletes, the level of competition that they're going to be in. They offer all of that. They're all very similar in those aspects. And so he's like, I need help making a decision. Right. So that's the next step of it is once you get down to a point, and if you can't make it, if you take all those pieces out and there's still not a clear cut answer for you, then it becomes who can I ask that is educated, that knows my situation, that can offer insight. And so I'm going to sit down with him. I'm not going to make the decision for him by any stretch. And I told him that I'm not going to push him one way or the other. I have my opinion on which school offers him the best opportunity to get where he wants to go. His parents have an opinion on that. We've all agreed this is his decision, which is the correct thing to say and the correct way for it to be. And we are there to offer support to help him understand and make sure that he is taking as much of his emotion out of it and making the decision based on the facts and what he sees is the best place for him to be. And that's extremely important when we make decisions is can we make them based on the facts? Because there's a lot of times that we make decisions based on emotion. And there's salespeople for sure that specifically I've been taught this in sales training. You rely on the emotion. You try and get them to emotionally buy into something before they logically buy into it. Because if they're emotionally tied to it, it's really hard for them to say no because they want it, whether they can afford it or not, whether it's the right thing for them or not, whether there's something better that may give them better results or outcomes or be able to help them more. Doesn't matter if they're emotionally bought in already. And so when you're making a decision, and this can be anything, it can be spending money, it can be getting into a relationship, it can be picking a school, it can be anything. Is it time to have kids or not have kids? Right? Like when is the right time for that? When is the right time to do anything? Like all those kinds of decisions, it needs to come down to as best as possible, like looking at all the facts and trying to make a decision based on that. And one of the things that is his this one athlete that's dealing with this right now, and I've had this conversation with multiple parents too, is that we get down to the nitty-gritty and it's one or two or three schools. And then what's great is when the parents and I can come together and go like, hey, we have our preference on where he goes, where she goes, but in all reality, he can't make a bad decision. Like there's not one of these that we would just scratch off and say, absolutely not. Right? Like, and so if you get to a decision, if you get to a point in your decision making process where that is what you see is like, I can make this, I can go this way or that way, and both of them seem great. And both of them will have potential to have great outcomes. There's always going to be negatives. There's always going to be things that could pop up, that obstacles that come in the way, that things that don't go the way we thought they were going to go, right? Like we can't predict the future. But what we can do is go, I can see great outcomes coming from both directions, no matter which way I go. And if you can get your decision-making process to that point, then you can bring your emotion into it and go, yeah, but I really love this place, or I really love that place, or I just feel tied for whatever reason, or this person said something that just, it would just be cool to be at that place. Um, so That's when we can bring the emotions back into it. When we know we have got it broken down to, I can't make a final decision, but I can't see either option being wrong, then it becomes very simple and easy to be able to do that at that point. And the issue becomes, though, when you let the emotions take over before you get down to either one of these could be good. Because if the emotions are tied in too early in the decision-making process, then you might, I'm not saying you will, but you might tie yourself to an option that doesn't offer you the best outcome or that doesn't offer you an equal outcome to the other option. And so you have to be careful about that decision-making process. I'm not saying that you take things super slow in your decision-making process. You need to make decisions. And this is one of the things that as a manager in businesses before, I don't have any employees right now, so it doesn't play a part in my current role. But as a manager in businesses before, and an owner in businesses that did have employees, one of the things that I learned pretty quickly was as soon as you make the decision that somebody's not a fit, you need to get rid of them, right? Like it's it's detrimental to your staff, to your business if you let them hang around. And a lot of people, I've seen it over and over and over again. A lot of people don't react quickly enough. Is it rough? Yes. Is it tough? Yes. It's it's rougher on the manager or the owner of the business than a lot of employees realize because nobody wants to fire somebody. Nobody wants to do that, right? Like nobody wants to go, I'm gonna throw this bomb in your life because you're not, I just want to, right? Like you give people a chance, you give people opportunities, you give people, but at certain point, it's just like, it's not working. I got to make a decision. And when you make the decision, it needs to be quick. And a lot of times in our lives, we don't react fast enough with our decision making because we're emotionally tied into something that logically we know is probably not the right answer. And so we're tied into that. We don't want to let go of that option. And so we don't make a decision and we don't make a decision because we're tied into that option that we know is probably not the right one. And we don't make a decision and things go by and things go by and things go by. And the longer that this plays in your head, the more detrimental it is to getting other things done and to moving towards your goal and moving towards the outcome you want. The longer you let it play in your head, the longer you let it just fester in that decision-making process instead of made decision, the more of an issue it becomes for you. So, uh, decision making is a part of life. It's a part of something we do every day. We're making decisions all the time, right? And now some of them are super simple, some of them are super easy, some of them are, like I gotta do laundry. Am I gonna do it today? Am I gonna do it tomorrow? Am I gonna do it the next day? That's a decision that's got to be made. It's a pretty simple decision. It's an easy decision. It's a boom. Okay, I'm out of underwear. I got to do laundry. That's forcing the decision. Maybe you don't have anything that you're lacking, but your laundry basket's starting to get full. Okay, that's forcing the decision. Maybe it's, oh, I got something that got really dirty. I need to wash this. I might as well wash everything else. Decision made, right? Like there's certain things that are super easy and super simple to do, or I just got time. I got time. I'm going to do some housework. I'm going to include laundry into that picture. The problem becomes when we know we have to do laundry. We know we have to do laundry. We know we have to do laundry. We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't do it. We keep putting it off. And then we get to that point where we don't have anything to wear because everything's dirty. And so we then either we're forced to do laundry right then and there when we need it and we got to go out the door for something, or we got to go to the store and buy new underwear, right? Like the decision gets forced upon us. And those are decisions that's a simple life decision, laundry. But the same thing happens with big life decisions. And we don't want those forced upon us because typically we'll make a quick decision, a rash decision, and it may not be the best decision in the end. But we've got to do something, so we just do something. So decision making is something we do every day. The more that you can figure out your own system for doing it, but looking at it, taking it, what's the facts? What's the logic tell us? What are the processes that are going to happen if I choose this? This is going to happen next, this is going to happen next, and down the line. Like what dominoes are going to fall? And are they going to fall in direction I want them to fall in? Those are the ways to make a decision. And then at the end, if it's still options that are there and they still look great and the outcomes look great, they're just different, then you can bring the emotions back into it and let that be a deciding factor. But that's how, and it's not always, trust me, it's not always how I make my decisions. It's how I try to make my decisions as much as possible. But yeah, there's still times where emotions come in this, too early in the process. And a lot of times when that happens, it's like, oh, I wish I would have not let that happen, right? Because I didn't react this way or that way when the outcome could have been a little bit better. Um, but decision making is a part of our daily life. It is something that hijacks a lot of people, right? It hijacks a lot of people. The inability to make decisions hijacks a lot of people's lives. And so learn how to make decisions, practice on the small stuff, practice on the ones that don't have huge outcomes or implications in your life. Practice on those, making them quickly, moving through life, and being okay with this is the other piece. You have to be okay with that decision wasn't the best. I'm not going to beat myself up over it for the next 3 weeks going, I wish I would have changed and done something else. You just say, that decision wasn't the best. Move on, move on with life. Learn from it, make the better decision the next time, but don't beat yourself up over a poor decision because life is all about decisions. Life is all about, and there's decisions all day, every day. You're going to have a ton of them. Learn how to make them quicker, learn how to make them solid decisions where you can trust your opinion and you can trust your decision-making process as you go through life. And you're going to find out that life becomes just a little bit easier because you're not spending that time just constantly mulling over decisions and what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Because you just wasted time and wasted energy. So that's the Life Lesson Friday for this episode. And I've talked about this before, but one of the things that actually helps with decision making is getting your brain healthy and your brain clear of junk, like getting your blood clear of junk, getting things operating properly. And the Root brands is a great, they offer great products to be able to do that. I take Zero In and Restore because they help both. Zero In helps with focus, helps with mental clarity, helps with cleaning out cells so they operate at the optimum level, which is what I'm looking for, both for my life and longevity and for my athletic performance. Restore helps rebuild everything. And then they have another great product called Clean Slate, which helps clean out the junk that's in your system so that you can make better decisions, right? You can focus with Zero In to make better decisions. Clean Slate cleans things out so you can, and then Restore rebuilds. And so they're great products. You can get them at therootbrands.com/confidence through health. And so check those out. And that's all I got for today. So we'll talk to y'all soon.